Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So let me wait for everyone to join this session so then we can start formally. On behalf of Arabian Child team, I'm very excited to have you all today. We are very delighted to welcome you to the launch of this new program, which is very important for us as well as for all of yourself. So I'm just going to be waiting for everyone to join in. Let me give 5 more minutes. In the meantime, if I can see who is here with us, we have Amal Khalid, we have
Yes, hello.
Dima.
Just now
Hi,
I joined. Hi.
welcome in. I'm glad that you are here today. We have Isabella, we have Jinky, Mariam, we have May, we have Safa, Sylvia. So can you please take a moment and introduce yourself in the chat, saying your name, where are you from? I can give you an example. This is Zabina and I am from Arabian Child. So you can introduce yourself in the chat with your name and you are from which nursery, Dubai or Abu Dhabi or in Riyadh or whichever the wonderful city you are in at the moment.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. I like this energy. Welcome.
Thank you. This is Miss Jinky from Nomo Nursery, Dubai. I'm from Philippines.
Very nice, Jinky, and we are very happy to have you. Keep having this
Uh,
energy for the rest of the course as well.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. We have somebody with the name Genius Kids. What an amazing name. Please write your name as well, because I'm sure you will have a same amazing name like your nursery name. Thank you, Grace. Nice to see you back. I can see a lot of people here with the same name. I can remember you. You were in other courses as well. Someone is with an admin name also. So please write your name in the chat so we know that who we are having it today. And I can see some note takers are also here. Thank you for the technology. It is good to send your note taker, but it's more important to be with us here as well. Thank you, Zainab, for joining us. Sylvia, Sadine, Ronalyn, Lubna. For all of you who just joined now, welcome in. Thank you for joining us today. Please introduce yourself in the chat with your name and the nursery you are from. We will be waiting for a couple of more minutes and then we will be formally starting this session. Please stay with us for the whole hour.
Loving nursery. Sylvia here.
Lydia is here.
Oh,
Lydia
very nice.
Miss Elvie.
You're all together. Good, good.
Loving
It's good to be
nursery.
learning together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loving nursery Abu Dhabi. Hey.
Hello.
Sonia Fazal from Loving Nursery also.
Hi,
Miss Sonia. Miss
Very
Sonia.
nice. Very nice. A lot of people are from Loving Nursery. Good, good.
Yes.
We are loving to have you today.
Thank you
Keep,
so much.
keep this
I
energy
hope
up.
we'll
Yeah.
learn and
Okay.
we'll implement whatever we will learn, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah. Introduce yourself in the chat as you are from Loving Nursery. You are a manager. So we know that who is with us. What is your position?
Uh, I'm Sonia Fazal and I'm the admin supervisor in Loving Nursery.
Very good. Very good. Loving Nursery is in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Good, good, good. So for all those who just joined now, welcome in. This is Zabina from Arabian Child. On behalf of my team, I'm very excited to welcome you all today in this session. Hi.
Thank you
My
so
name is
much.
Zainab. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
I'm from Kuwait. I'm a teacher in nursery ACAN, American
Oh,
Creativity.
very good. So we have a teacher from Kuwait.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today. Good, good, good. Keep coming, keep introducing yourself. Make sure to use this chat function. If you have any question, write your questions here. We will be answering all your questions by the end of the session. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Rochelle. Okay, Dima, she cannot hear us. So can any of you give me a thumbs up that if you can hear me and you can see me? Okay, Dima, what you can do is if you can leave the meeting and join again, or try to join from another device, maybe from your mobile phone or from your laptop. Okay, so we still have some new people just join in. It's 2 past 6. We will wait 3 more minutes. Exactly 5 past 6, we will start the session. It's so good to see in the chat all the messages you put it here. Great. Keep writing it and feel free to ask any question if you have. Very good. I'm just reading all of your messages. So we have Dr. Mahru Nazish also. She's already in CACHE too. Very good. Odyssey Nursery. Many people from Odyssey Nursery. From Namu Nursery. Good to see that. For all those who just joined in, welcome in. We are just waiting for everyone to join in. And then we will start a session. 2 more minutes. I cannot wait also. I'm counting down that we will start exactly at 5 past 6. It is very nice to see all the people we already know in a waiting room. Thank you. Claudia from Blossom Nursery. Hope everything is good. Thank you, Maram Darwish, Nermeen, Mariam Mirza, Jean, and Zeba. Good evening, everyone. So I would suggest, as we are waiting for other people in, if you can let us know that you are working with which age group. Are you working with 3 to 4 years old children, 4 to 5 years old children in a preschool or in KG1 or FS1 or FS2 as well? That will be helping us to prepare for a session today where we can consider that we have an audience from what particular age group. So for all of those who has already introduced themselves, if you can include that you are in 2 to 3 years old classroom or 3 to 4 years old classroom. Okay, very good. So let me start here. Working with babies from 45 days old. Good, good, amazing. I will look at all your chat after I introduce our wonderful speaker and a course. So just stay there, keep it there. I'll answer all of you. Thank you. Keep coming. Thank you, Zeba. So we are very delighted, and it's a very important day for us as we are having our new program. We are launching a new program, CACHE Level 3 Award for working with babies and young children under 2 years old. As most of you are aware that Arabian Child is a CACHE center from long time. We have been offering different programs from CACHE Level 1 up till CACHE Level 5 for different role. So this particular program we are offering it, considering that it is designed to empower all the practitioners who are working with children from 45 days until their 1,000 days. So the first 1,000 days. It is in line with the Arabian Child mission as well, as we wanted to uplift early years education across the region. So we have chosen this particular program with the help of our wonderful speaker. I'm going to be introducing her in a bit. This qualification that can give you international best practice. It's a UK certificate, directly certified by NCFE CACHE UK, and it is considered one of your work-based CPD skills in safe caring for those children, responsive routines, understanding attachment theory, and learning through play. If they are 45 days old, if they are 1 year old. So we're going to be having this program is suitable for anyone who is working with children as a nursery assistant or a classroom aide or childminder or babysitter or nanny or even in a leadership role who is more interested to know about children, dealing with the children from 0 to 2 years old. So this is our first group. We are very excited for that first group as well. We are thankful for our speaker, Ms. Michelle Bugby, who is with us from UK today to conduct this orientation and induction session. She is our curriculum and professional development director at Arabian Child, having an extensive experience in higher education, curriculum design, and teacher training. We asked her to make this more important program with us to start. So she will be the trainer for this program as well, which will be starting from today. So without wasting any of your further time, I will ask Michelle to start to take it over from here. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for giving us time from your busy routine, especially before the Christmas time.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much for the introduction, Sabina, and welcome everybody. And how exciting to be able to introduce this wonderful program to you all. Arabian Child are the first organisation to be able to offer the NCFE CACHE Level 3 award in working with babies and young children under the age of 2 in the UAE and across internationally. So it's very exciting time, and you are the elite people that can be the first people to enroll on this program. So it's it's going to be a wonderful opportunity, not just for yourselves and your career progressions, but also to support you in caring for babies and young children under the age of 2. As Sabina said, this is such an important time for all of us, really, because baby care is, often overthought or kind of forgotten about in nursery care. And, it is the most important age and stage. And I believe, and I always have done, that the most important people in any nursery are the people that are working with babies, and they must be the highest qualified people because they have such an important job. What we do with babies in the first 1,001 days will impact on them for the rest of their lives. It'll impact on how they form relationships. It'll impact on them how they will learn and develop. It'll impact on them of how they will, behave in society and contribute to society. So we have a very important job to do, and so that's why this qualification will give you those skills, will give you that knowledge to just raise that level, and to really value young children and give them the best opportunities in life. As Sabina said, I'm the curriculum, but also the professional development director for Arabian Child. And, I really was, thrilled to see when NCFE created this qualification. Previously, before I started working with Arabian Child, I was also an expert on the panel for the NCFE. And this was something that I really pushed towards, that we desperately needed a baby qualification. So when I seen that it is coming about, Arabian Child were the first people to be able to endorse this. So Arabian Child, as most of you know, because most of you have either been students with us previously or would like to come onto this program. We've been in the area of UAE for over 17 years. We've worked with over 480 centres, delivering high quality training, but also supporting operation and supervision, also supporting early childhood curriculum. What do we want for children? How do we know what, our curriculum, how do we know it's appropriate? How do we deliver and implement that? What's the role of the educator within that curriculum? But also thinking about the quality as well, and supporting you in raising that quality accreditation. And of course, through consultancy, raising that bar continuously. So NCFE, as I said before, I was on their expert panel, so I was an advisory to NCFE. but it's the third largest awarding body in the UK. And the CACHE actually stands for Council for Awards in Care, Health and Education. And as I said, they're the leading specialist awarding organisation for the care and education sector. It's internationally renowned. And so, you know, this is something that once you gain this qualification, this certificate of working with babies and children under 2, it is internationally recognised. So if you wanted to go and work in the UK, you could take that award with you and it would be recognised. If you wanted to take it, you know, anywhere in the world, it will be internationally recognised. Of course, alongside the baby and working with children under 2 years of age, we have a range of CACHE awards. So you have a progression route, you have a roadmap of which you can follow. But I actually believe, and working, you know, for 35 years in this sector as a trainer and, you know, at an academic level, I actually believe that starting and, you know, with working with babies and doing the CACHE program of working with babies and young children under the age of 2, every single teacher and practitioner should do it. Because what we need to do, whether you're working with the toddlers, whether you're working with preschool children, or even if older children than that, if you're working in KG, you need to know what comes first. You need to understand where those child, you know, have come from. I always see children, they come with a suitcase of experiences before they even turn up at your nursery. And what we need to do is understand those experiences. So in order to support them in the preschool room, we need to understand baby development and that sequencing so we can build on all of those years. The 1001 days, which is from birth right until the age of 2, is so important because that's when the children learn so many more things through the experiences that you give them, and that will then impact on their synapses, which is part of the brain anatomy, a part of the brain development. It's all that neurological science behind how we learn things, how we learn to communicate, how we learn our language, how we learn to talk, how we physically move, how we remember things. It's all from those early experiences. So this is why it's so important. So this is just the starting point, really, of, you know, working with babies and young children, understanding that child development and how then to build on. And I always say the best teachers of whatever age group you're working with, if you have that understanding of baby care and baby routines and attachment and making connections and relationships with children, you are going to be the most wonderful teachers. And so from that roadmap, your starting point is this baby certificate that then, of course, you could go on to the NCFE CACHE Level 2, introducing caring for children and young people. Or you may want to go on to the NCFE CACHE Level 3 diploma for the early years workforce, which is around the early years educator. And that's specifically if you wanted to, you know, have a teaching role. Again, internationally recognised in the early years. So all of these progression routes are so important. For the NCFE CACHE Level 5 in leadership for children, young people, that's not necessarily just for people in leadership roles, that's for people that are inspiring to become leaders. And actually completing the baby and the and working with children under 2 years, CACHE, you will be a leader in baby care. And so that could be another progression route going on to the NCFE CACHE Level 5, because then you're an expert and a leader within, you know, that age range. And then, of course, we have the NCFE CACHE Level 3 award in special educational needs coordinators in early years settings. Again, that links so beautifully to our baby course, because we know that children of age 2 are the times where it's the most sensitive period of their life. That's when they will start to show if they have any developmental delays, for instance, or you might start picking up on some concerns. So they might not be, starting to use language or trying to communicate with you. And so that's where if, we don't pick up on these concerns, particularly at age 2, then that gap or that special educational needs could widen, it could get larger. Whereas if we notice what happens at age 2, we could possibly put some intervention into place very quickly, which then would support children. And we could sometimes eradicate some of those developmental delays, which then, they could catch up with their peers and have, really positive outcomes. So having this understanding of babies and children under the age of 2 is vital. And if you are interested in special educational needs and wanting to, progress within that route, this is also, a vital aspect to enroll on. As I said, I think Sabina's kind of introduced me, but one of my areas of expertise is working with babies. I have 35 years of experience of supporting practitioners to work with babies. But, working with babies is a real strong aspect. You need to have some really good attributes. You need to have some really strong skills, and you need to have compassion and empathy. You need to have patience, but you need to be fun and engaging and warm and responsive. So those attributes, not everybody has them. And they're not attributes that we can teach people. I can teach you how to work with babies. I can teach you how to play with babies. I can teach you how to plan for baby care. I can teach you about routines. I can teach you about sleep routines. I can teach you about the importance of, when you're having daily interactions with those children, how to extend them. But we also need the magic of you, your own values, your own personalities to really bring this to life. And what's really, really making my heart warm is how many people are here and how many people really want to develop their skills and their attributes within that. So that shows me that you've got those values and you've got that magic that, we can just touch into. So this program, as I said, it's a real specialist program, and it is for experts that are working with babies and children under 2. And it's not a diploma, so it won't make you an educator. It won't make you a teacher. It won't make you a recognised teacher. But what it will do, it will support your continuing professional development, and it will make you an expert of working with babies and children under the age of 2. So it makes you more desirable in your employment, because we know now that, your ministries and your local authorities are now requesting that they have this specialist in baby care. And that would then, set you apart from all of your colleagues and your peers. It's designed for those working or volunteering with infants from birth up to 24 months. So, and I can see in the chat that a lot of you are already working with babies from that age range. So this is perfect for you. And what it's going to do, it's going to really give you those real life hands-on experiences. I will give you theory and knowledge and understanding, but what we're also going to do is how do we put that into real practice? How do we apply that theory and that knowledge and actually make it happen in our daily, everyday practice, in our daily exchanges with those children, in our routines, in our curriculum. And so we're going to unpick all of that specifically. Of course, safeguarding is something that we really need to understand with babies, personally because they are non-verbal. And what I mean by that is, they might not have the language skills or the speech skills to tell us. But of course, babies are verbal through their body language, through their emotions, through their cries. And I'm going to really support you in understanding what does that mean? How do we recognise children's verbal cues, but also, those other cues that they will show through their body language, through their movements, through their cries, through their expressions. When children aren't verbal and can't verbally tell you, how can we recognise that so that we can support them in their needs and, really engage with them and support their well-being? It's the most frightening time for a baby to be left from their mother and to be handed over to a stranger that they've never met before, or into a new centre where, into a nursery where they don't know the smells, they don't know the sounds, they don't know the people. It might be noisy to them. It could be very overwhelming. So we're going to really explore, how do we settle babies in gently? How do we support their transitions? How do we support them to feel a sense of belonging within your centre? How do we support them in, gaining attachments and relationships with their key people? And I'm also going to support you in really understanding baby development, right up to the age of 2, and how we can support their early learning. And that's very done, through, again, trusting relationships, through the environment, through your curriculum, but also through interactions, and also through experiences, in particular sensory experiences. And so we would really explore all of those aspects together. So hopefully this is really, kind of getting you, to really want to engage within this kind of program. You're going to be taught by an expert in guidance and assessed directly in your setting. So we will come out and we'll assess you in your practice. So then you can really validate your skills. And, it's a real supportive process, to be able to have someone recognise those skills and to see what you've learnt, your knowledge from the training, and actually applying it in practice. But having that validated, is really powerful. And also it confirms your ability then to work in line with the statutory welfare, but also the safeguarding expectations of your ministries. So what I really want to ask you all now, and please put it in the chat, or, if you would like to talk, please do. I'd love it to be engaging. Just raise your hand and, I can ask you. But what I'd really like to know is, how confident are you that your daily interactions both support the development and the statutory requirements when you're working with babies? So just on a level of 1 to 10, how confident are you? Are you 10 very confident that your interaction supports that baby development and your statutory requirements? Are you kind of halfway? I've got some good understanding, but I need a little bit more knowledge and, support with that. Or are you kind of number 1, number 2, number 3, where, oh, I'm not very confident. I'm quite new to this. I need your help, Michelle. How confident you feel? Please just put your numbers in the chat of kind of gauging how you feel confidence-wise. Around 4 and 5, 1, 8 or 9. Any more? 8. Okay, this is wonderful. 7. So a whole range. Yeah, I would say, I'm a good 10, but I'm still always learning. And that's really good to see, Grace, that you said that there's still room for learning. Even if you feel that you're really high and you've got lots of experience, I've got 35 years of experience and I'm still learning every time I work with another baby or another family. And the reason for that is because each child is so unique. Each child is going to come with different experiences, with different kind of personalities, with different social economic backgrounds, with different parenting styles. They may be quite anxious babies, they may be really confident babies. And so, getting to work with these young children is a privilege, but also not every baby, we will support in the same way. And so, we need to have this knowledge and this understanding so that we can continue to develop and we can continue to work with those babies. And of course, new theories come out all the time. I'm going to be talking to you about theories, in particular, John Bowlby's theory of attachment. But that's, over 50, 60 years old. He's even older than me. And actually, although that theory is still relevant in today's society, actually we've moved on so much more because society has changed. We live in a different landscape now to 15, 60 years ago. So we will also look at contemporary theories as well. And we'll also unpick what does that mean to us because we develop our own theories. Theories are just suggestions. They're not facts. They are just people's ideas, but we need to build on those. And so, it's very interactive in the sessions. It's not just me talking. I really want to gauge your experiences and I can guide you and, really support those professional development through conversations, through discussions, but also through tasks, through reading around certain journal articles or papers or books or, short articles, and then having just professional discussions around those, but then also bringing it back to practice. How do we do this in reality? And don't worry if you feel like you're number 1 or number 4 or 5 and you're just starting out on this learning, because this program's for everybody. Whether you're just starting out working with babies or whether you've been doing this for 10 years, plus. It's for everybody. And we're going to really support that growth and that development for you all. So thank you for sharing those levels. And absolutely, we always need new learning opportunities. And we'll learn from each other, different ways of working with babies, different strategies of working with babies, and really thinking about how can I improve every time. So why would you want to take this award and why does it matter? Well, it really matters because we know now, in particular in this digital world, that children are becoming isolated from a very young age. Children are not learning always the values of society, not actually understanding that serve and return conversations or interactions, so that's something really strong in my pedagogy that, what I mean by serve and return, it's about me talking to children and responding to them visually, with my facial expressions, with my body language, with the resources and the play equipment that I have, making them feel a sense of belonging, cared for and loved, which is really important. So, it is important for those attachments because we know that if children have strong attachments with caregivers such as ourselves, then they're going to, be able to make positive relationships later on in life, friendships, and really contribute to society in a positive manner because they'll have strong self-identity. They'll have a strong sense of belonging. They'll feel loved and cared for. They won't feel neglected. And also, like I say, within this digital world, we know now that there's a higher rate of young children with anxiety, with mental health difficulties, with attachment disorders. So it's vital we get it right in the very earliest of days. So we're going to really look at attachment and that infant well-being, really think about how do we co-soothe with babies before they can self-soothe and why that's so important. We're going to really think about that brain development. I said that neuroscience, and understand how babies learn and how babies brain develops over time, but also that language development, because this is such an important time for them to build that language, and also that physical development. These are the prime areas of learning. If they haven't got their well-being, then how are they going to learn? If we don't interact and have those serve and return interactions with them, how are they going to build up their language development? And they need their language development to be able to progress on to, you know, mathematics and science and writing and reading and creativity and painting and drawing and arts. So we need to really explore all of those aspects. For them to be able to contribute to society and to thrive in their lifetime. But we also will, you know, really consider those care routines around safety, around sleep, feeding, movement, and care routines that are just as important as the learning. You know, these are all opportunities to build the whole holistic development of children, in particular in babies. So it's so important. And as I said, you've got the most important job, because if we don't get it right in the first 2 years, then that child's outcomes are going to be very, you know, difficult. So who should take this program? Okay, well, people that are really passionate about children's well-being. As I said, you know, it's vital that we enable young children to feel loved, feel cared for, to have that sense of belonging, to have an identity, to really be able to self-soothe and self-regulate. So well-being is really important. You know, how can they relax and you know, respond to play environments? And that's really, you know, supported through that attachment-led care. When that baby feels safe and secure, then they can, you know, go off and explore their environment, try out something very new. They can support in, you know, wider experiences, learning experiences, sensory experiences that are really going to support that. Safeguarding cultures, you know, if you're passionate about keeping children safe, it's very important that we do that. You know, how do we recognise when a baby's being abused when they're not necessarily able to verbalise that? So, you know, we will certainly deep dive into all of those cues of how do we recognise, you know, those safeguarding concerns with babies and children under the age of 2. We're also going to be thinking about that responsive caregiving, and that's, you know, having routines, because babies, you know, although we have to be flexible to unique children, to each individual child's care routine, we also need to think about routines because children feel safe in a routine. They like to know what's now and what's next. But that responsive caregiving is, you know, when we're changing a nappy, that's an opportunity to interact with that child, to make them feel safe and, you know, cared for, to be talking to them, to be singing to them, so that it becomes a really responsive, you know, moment. And also, you know, observation informed learning environments, that we respond to the children and their needs and their learning in the now, not in, you know, a week's time, not in a month's time, not in a year's time. It's those teachable moments in the here and now. It's those really responding to those child's needs right at that moment. So when they're crying, you know what that crying cue means. Does it mean that they need a cuddle and they just need some support? Does it mean that they're hungry or tired? Or is it because they're missing their parents? So, you know, we're really going to be thinking about those learning environments and how that supports those children, but the role of the adult, you know, the resources that you use and the opportunities that you give those children. So if you're passionate about all of that, this is definitely for you. And I want you on this course because, you know, I want to have those interactions with you and hear about it. So what you'll be prepared to apply Section 3 of the EYFS Safeguarding and Welfaring Duties. And of course, it doesn't matter what curriculum you're using. Safeguarding is safeguarding. So if you have a different curriculum to the EYFS, please do not worry about that, because we will relate it to your practice, to your curriculum, to your safeguarding. It's about those key aspects of safeguarding that are important. You're going to understand developmental milestones, but also early influences. So thinking about, you know, if a child is born prematurely, how can we support that growth and their learning and development even more? So, you know, there's lots of early birth influences, like I say, we're going to be thinking about their serve and returns, those attachments with their family members, their social economic influences. You know, if a child's from a deprived background, how might that, for example, impact on their speech and language development? And how can we support that development even more? So we're also going to think about schemas and what schemas are, and that might seem, you know, a word that you've never heard before. And I'm not going to dive into that now, but basically that's how children learn and behaviours that children will show through their play. And I'm going to just give you one very basic example. One of the schemas is an enveloping schema, and my granddaughter, who is 2, she's an enveloping schema. So with her baby dolls, she'll cover them up. With her drawings, she'll colour all over it. So she envelopes everything. She loves a handbag and she loves putting all little bits and pieces into a handbag. So that's called an enveloper. What that means is that they're covering everything up. So, you know, she loves to, you know, cover her babies up. And then what I would do is think about, well, how do we learn? How do we support that learning? If that's the way that she learns, the covering up, then how can we support that even more? So we'll think about schemas in particular. And also we'll think about advocacy, that you would be an advocate for infants through partnerships, and that could be partnerships within society, with other professionals, with their parents, with caregivers, but also within your nursery, with their peers, with their, you know, the other babies. So you would be an advocate for babies to make sure that they're nurtured and they're cared for through that responsive practice. So, you know, some of the things as well is just, you know, I'll be putting provocations to you like, do you see safeguarding as a checklist, or do you see it as a lived daily practice of babies' rights and well-being? Well, if you do see it as a checklist currently, by taking this program, I can assure you, you would definitely see it as a children's right to be safe, to be listened to, and also for us to be responsive to them as well. It's one unit, so it's one mandatory unit, which is working with babies and children under 2 years in adherence to statutory requirements. And it must be evidenced in real setting. So we will, and I'm so glad I've just seen your message, Missy, that it's definitely a right. That's just wonderful. So please join me on this programme. It must be evidenced in your real setting. So whether you're volunteering or whether you're working in a centre, you need to be able to be observed in practice. So all of that knowledge and discussion that we talk through in the sessions, you will apply that in practice and you'll be observed in your practice. And your homework will be very reflective. It will be about what you do with babies, about how you support those young children up to the age of 2's development, how you work with parents, how you safeguard them. So it's very reflective, and I will support you to become a reflective practitioner. And we will talk about those real incidences, and we will really unpick those even more. What does this mean for you as a practitioner? What does it mean for that baby's care? And what does it mean for the parents? How do we share that information? You'll have, as I said, direct observation, but also, you know, you won't be able to stimulate that, you know, we can't do that in a scenario. It needs to be, you know, shown in real practice. But I think that's really powerful because then it really validates your authenticity of working with those young babies. So, you know, this qualification, this certificate isn't like a Mickey Mouse certificate. It's not like, you know, we give it out like sweets. This is a really, you know, highly qualified expert. You know, you will really come out feeling validated that you are really knowledgeable at supporting young children under the age of 2. So this is, you know, a really good enhancing career opportunity for you all. So another kind of provocation I want you to think about is when you think of infants under 2, What does quality look like? You know, that quality practice, what does that look like in your everyday role? You know, and you can answer me this now if you want to. Just think about just one strand of quality. What does that mean in your everyday role? If I said to you, what's one thing that you think babies deserve, have a right to, what would that be? Just pop it in the chat. What one quality aspect that you deliver already to those babies, what would that be? I'll give you an example. For me, it's definitely around relationships. I think, you know, it's really important that we have opportunities to build relationships up with children, to build up that trust, to have that sensitivity, that empathy, you know, that really, you know, you can see it when babies are playing. They look at you as if to say, you know, this is a new experience. I must say, can I try this? And then you encourage them. So for me, it's very much about relationships. But please put in the chat if there's something that you think's equally as important, something of what quality practice looks like. It could be setting up an environment. It could be, you know, using sensory resources with babies. It could be having those care routines with babies. You know, please pop in the chat. Safety through routines. Thank you, Missy. Yeah, it's so important. And we really deep dive into routines actually, because for me, every single routine is an opportunity for learning and through engagement and through, you know, being really recognized and validated as a baby, you know, knowing that your carer is actually listening to you and responding to you. So it's so, so important. Provide a safe environment. Yes, really important, Angela, but also a stimulating environment. You know, we want them to, you know, have opportunities to play. And you know, unfortunately, I've been to many centres where, you know, I can see in the preschool room, children have many opportunities to play and learn and explore and have resources. But baby care seems to be just, you know, routines and feeding and nappy changing. But actually, children need a safe and stimulating environment. And so that's about giving them opportunities to play, for sensory experiences, to, you know, to taste things, to smell things, to feel things, to touch things. You know, bubble play, for instance, or water play, you know, all of those sort of things. So hygiene is really important, absolutely. Yes, understanding their needs, an environment where every child feels heard. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's a real skill, isn't it? You know, how do we listen to children? How do we respond to that? You know, yeah, to be loved, to be safe, to be heard, enabling environments to explore. Oh, these are just wonderful. I need you on this course. Outdoor exposure. Oh, really important. Acknowledging their identity. Yes. And actually, babies as young as 3 months are starting to form their own identities. So it's so important that is of how we do that. Consistent, predictable care. Oh, absolutely. Especially with their key people. You know, they need to build up that attachment with them. A child feels safe, seen, and supported. Yeah, from adults, he will feel comfortable and explore freely. Just absolutely wonderful. So the learning, thank you for all of that. It's just lovely to hear all of that. So learning methods then, so the classes are delivered online through Microsoft Teams. We'll set you a schedule where you'll, with a group of learners, we'll all come together. It's very interactive. You know, I will getting you off to do tasks and working in small groups together and then coming back and feedback. We'll have some input from me, and you know, we have some really in-depth discussions. So it's you know, it's something that's going to support everybody, and I want you to feel really supported through that process. And an Arabian Child, we do pride ourselves really strongly in our support systems that we have for students. You know, we have a specialist support team that, you know, can answer any of your questions, you know, whether it's regarding assignments or whether it's, you know, not being able to, you know, come to the session or enroll onto this session effectively. Our support systems are immense and they're just wonderful. And of course, I'll support you as well through the programme. The duration of study, you should complete it within 3 or 4 months. Some of you might complete it a little bit quicker, some a little bit longer, but it's usually complete between 3 and 4 months. You'll need to dedicate at least 3 or 4 hours per week for your study time, and that's so that you could read around the subject. You know, I might give you some homework to do, and of course, you're going to have your assignments to complete. And to complete those assignments, you will need to, you know, use some literature, to use some theory. And of course, I'll signpost you to some of that as well. And I'll signpost you to some really good sites where you can draw on research-informed practice. And you know, we'll be having videos and those sorts of things as well that we can draw from. And you'll need computer and you'll need access to the internet as well. So that when I do put you into small groups to do some tasks, you know, you can be able to be engaged within those. And I really want you to think about your commitment to documenting the meaningful moments that happen already every week in your setting. You know, a lot of the assignments are things that you're already doing, and we're just enhancing those practices. So, you know, it's not too arduous, but of course you're going to learn new things and you're going to have to commit to at least 3 to 4 hours per week, you know, for this. How you'll be assessed, you'll build a portfolio of evidence, and they're things that you already do in your everyday practice. So it might be an observation of babies that you've put into your portfolio. It may be that you've done a report or an assessment on your babies, and you might submit those. It might be some planning that you've done for your babies, or you might, you know, just show a schedule or your routine schedule or your curriculum. You know, it could be a range of different things. It could also be that you've had a supervision or an appraisal and, you know, they've really identified your strengths of working with babies. Again, that's going to be evidence to meet the standards. We also have written assignments, so we'll give you, and I support you through those written assignments, so you can submit your written assignment. You'll have your direct observations, which is required, so we'll come in and we'll assess you in your workplace. It's very reflective, so it's all about you and how you apply this into practice. And I think that's really powerful because not often do we reflect on ourselves. We don't always hold a mirror up to ourselves. So what you will find, it will be transformative because you recognise your learning and how brilliant you are working with those young children and the impact that you're having because you can, you know, you can see that progress over the programme. And of course, it's recognised by us as the trainers and assessors. And of course, you can also draw from expert witnesses and testimonies and through discussions as well. So there's a range of ways that you'll be assessed and, you know, and nice ways to be assessed as well. Once you upload your work, I will review your work and I'll provide you a score. And what we tend to do, you have to get 100% to be able to progress and to complete the assignments. So it may be that you submit your initial work and I might say to you, yeah, this is a really good starting point. However, I just need a little bit more depth or detail or examples of how you put that into practice. So I might send it back to you and it might come back at 75% when you've, you know, added those additional parts on. And then, you know, I might say to you, okay, that's really good, but, you know, have you got any plans that you could support, you know, to show evidence of that? And then you could reach that 100%. Now, it is quite normal not to reach 100% at the very start. So don't worry if I send, you know, some work back. It is a progress. And it's like when we work with children. We don't, you know, do one lesson with children. You know, for instance, we don't just say to them, right, we're going to teach you how to count to 10 and expect the next day that those children can count to 10. It's a progress, isn't it? We do, you know, sequencing to that. And this assessment's just exactly the same. So it's very supportive. I'll give you detailed feedback. I'll tell you how to enhance your work if it's needed to. And we will look at that homework together in the session so you could ask questions as well. So, you know, don't worry about assessment. I don't want that to put you off coming onto the course because it is things that you already know and things that we're going to talk about in the sessions. You'll get resources, so you get a learner handbook, you get a learning platform which you can access, it's online access. You can have recordings of the sessions, the presentations, the videos and the reading. So you have lots of resources to support you in your development. And of course, I'm going to be sharing all of those different resources with you. And, you know, obviously with my academic background, I'm also going to be sharing some of the resources that I've written to support your learning as well. We do have policies and procedures that you must read when you enroll on your portal. And that would be, you know, your attendance. To complete the programme, you need to attend all the sessions or at least 80% of them to be able to qualify. Okay. And there's other aspects as well, things like plagiarism, you know, not using AI to write your assignments, but we will explore that all together in our you know, in our first session. We do have entry requirements as well, so you must be 16 years of age or more. You must be working or volunteering with young children under the age of 2, and you must have appropriate literacy, either Arabic or English, and you must have, but English for this cohort, you must have access to digital portfolio systems, and you will be IT literate for your submissions. What are you going to achieve? Well, I've kind of covered this, but you're going to be globally a trusted award in infant rooms. So you're going to have that international early years and infant rooms recognition. So you're going to have the certificate of that. You're going to have real skills and real evidence. You're going to have that portfolio. And how powerful will that be if you want to progress and, you know, go for a job interview or to another centre? You've got evidence to show your wonderful work. You'll grow as a baby specialist. So the confidence, you know, if you put that you were number 1 to number 4, that confidence is just going to shine. You're going to be a number 10 by the time we finish this program. You're going to have, you know, you're going to be an advocate for children. And as I said, it's going to support that career progression. So it's a real powerful moment for you to come on board. You have strong communication with the trainers and the assessors. And as I said before, we have a super supportive support system. So we have student support, which if you have any questions or any concerns or any difficulties, you can contact our student support at arabianchild.org. They're absolutely brilliant and they respond to you within 24 hours. So, you know, you have a whole group of support systems. We also have a WhatsApp group as well for general questions around assignments. And of course, you know, I'd be there supporting you as well. So how to succeed and meet this certification requirements. So you need to complete all of the assignments and achieve 100% score. And as I've explained that to you, you know, it's a progress, so you'll get there. You'll complete practical requirements and you'll attend the sessions. You'll also participate in the sessions and you'll engage with us. And that's how you can succeed. So the course schedule then, we will start the programme on the 14th of January at 6 p.m. and I can't wait to start it with you all. And then we will be Wednesday the 21st of January, the 28th of January and the 4th of February. So that's the course schedule of the sessions. And then, you know, there will be the homework as well. Okay. So if you're ready to shape the first 2 years of children's lives and you're passionate practitioners and you want to enhance all those skills and those attributes that we've talked about tonight, then, I'd love you to join. So Zabina, I'm going to pass it back over to you to, talk through all these beautiful people of how they can enroll.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for all of us today here in a very important launch of Arabian Child program. Just to make sure that you can hear me, anyone can give me a yes. Okay. So as
Yes.
I was saying, thank you for all joining us today for the launch of this amazing program. We hope this session give you a clear picture of how this amazing qualification in a short time can strengthen your practice, enhance your confidence, and most importantly, improve the outcome of young children in your care. So again, heartfelt thank you to our speaker, Michelle, for sharing your expertise and inspiring us with a vision for high quality early years education. As we close, we would like to invite you to take a next step, explore the course detail. Here is the QR code. You can scan it and begin your journey towards professional growth and excellence. So we are here to support you, Arabian Child team. For any query you have it in order to register, I would just like to summarize a quick how you can enroll in. You can scan this QR code and you can enroll easily. This course is available in Arabian Child website on a shop as well. When you scan this QR code, it will ask you to put some information about yourself, like an email address, mobile number. You can use any card, credit card, debit card to purchase this course. If you have any question, we are here to support you. You are more than welcome to get in touch with Arabian Child. You can see a number there. You can send WhatsApp, you can call, and we will be also following up with you with an email that how you can enroll in this program. The last thing I would like to say that we have a limited seat for this program. We are only having 30 seats in this program. So once we complete those 30 seats, we will close this cohort and then we will be having a waiting list for the next cohort, which is based on how many people are interested in. Just to summarize that it's a 40 hours course. As Michelle was showing you that there will be 4 sessions in a month. The course first session is starting from January 14th, which is a Wednesday. It's going to be an afternoon after your work. And for all those people who are with us today, we are giving you a promotion that the rate will be only 2,500 dirham. Who can enroll in this program? Anyone who is working with children or aspiring to work with children from birth to 2 years. You could be a nursery teacher who is already experienced working in a kindergarten section and would like to get some more knowledge or insight about young children. You can enroll in. You could be a director who would like to open classes for infants or babies, you can enroll in that course. And same for those who are directly working with children. It could be an assistant teacher, trainee teacher, shadow teacher, support teacher, teaching aid. You can enroll in this program. This is an international certification, which will not be only helping you to get career benefits in UAE, you will get internationally career benefit. It's directly certified by NCFE CACHE UK. For all your question, you can drop it in a chat or in a question and answer section. So again, on behalf of Arabian Child, thank you once again for being part of this important launch. We look forward to seeing you in the program and continuing this journey with you.
Can I just say one last thing, Sabina, if that's
Yeah.
okay? I was
Yeah,
going to
sure.
say, I forgot to say about we only have the 30 seats, but what I really wanted to say is, if you want to be the very first practitioner, one of the very first practitioners to gain this qualification in UAE, we only have 30 seats, so you need to register now, because you want to be the very first in the UAE to have this, qualification. Then please do join me. I'm really excited about it. But I know I'd want to be one of the first people in the country to do that. And what an
Exactly.
amazing thing to say. I'm one of the first people to gain this qualification in this country.
Yes. Actually, no one is offering this qualification until now. So Arabian Child is the first center offering this qualification. So take this opportunity, be a first person, as Michelle is saying. So you can say that, stay tall in the crowd to say that I am doing this qualification. And for all your questions, we are here to help you and support you. Have a very good evening. Take care of yourself and keep an eye on Arabian Child social media. We are having sessions usually on monthly basis. We would like to have you all in all sessions, which are of course relevant for you. Okay, so keep doing your great work, how you are supporting children and their families. It's a very important work. And don't forget to take a picture of this slide, which you can see on your screen. That will help you to scan the QR code after the session as well. So you can go to the website. For those who would like to go quickly, it's www.arabianchild.org. No space. You can go to our website. You can explore more about this program. And we can send you also a link how to enroll, how to register, and mark a date, January 14, 2026. There will be a first session of a unit first happening at 6 o'clock. So book your spot in if you are interested to enroll in and be part of this amazing journey with Arabian Child. All our students are very important for us, but we always remember the student who are part of our first cohort, our launch cohort. You are more closer to our heart. And let's start wherever you can. Thank you. I'd like to answer a question. There is somebody asking in a chat that she is in a Riyadh at the moment. So she is a stay-at-home mom living in Riyadh. Her question is, Michelle, if she needed a place to volunteer for a practical assessment. I can answer your question, Missy Simanga. We have an office, our branch is in Riyadh as well. So our office can support you if you would like to go and find a placement in a nursery or school to complete practical assessment. That is doable and we can support you with that. Yes, it does require you to complete some practical aspect for the course with the children. Thank you, Safa, for supporting us today. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until we see again.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, Jinky. Did I answer your
Thanks,
question,
bye.
Missy?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sonia, Lornita, Mariam, Jane, Maram, Manala Bugosh, Narmeen. It is always very exciting to be with all of you for any of those sessions. Same here. We are equally excited as you are. Thank you, Kutsia, Ronalyn, Ibtisam, Louis, Tala, Ranibel, Mona, Esra. You may leave the session as we are almost at the end. Actually, we have completed this session today. So thank you. Have a great time. Dua. Thank you, Adelina, Uzma, Heba, Sylvia, Agustina, Raifa, Anmel. I can see only the names which are in front of my screen. So thank you for being with us today. Liza, Ibtisam, Maha, I can see you here. Thank you being part of this session today. Rama, Carol, Yangchen, Agustina. Thank you, Carol. Raifa. I cannot close the event until all of you will leave. So thank you. Until we meet again, let me see you again in January 14. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Lisa.